Before we get to our Patreon questions here, of course, we're an apologetic a group that reads books and hopes to kind of distill maybe hard topics for people who haven't gotten into apologetics or philosophy and might be scared of some of the subject material. And so we kind of see where apologetics is going or heading, or the big topics. And so, I mean, that's essentially what you're doing. You're actively engaging in, what we're called to do, which is to provide an answer for the hope that is in us. And so, what do you see as kind of the state of Christian apologetics? And I know that that's kind of a broad topic, so if you just want to talk about kind of an American experience, but obviously being on the World Wide Web, you get the whole wide world, so that probably helps. But can you kind of speak to where we're at, where you think we're at, and maybe where we're going from here?
So, yeah, got questions. I mean, First Period 3:15, always be ready to give an answer. So apologetics is a big part of what we do, but we're not just apologetics. So many more of our questions are discipleship, daily Christian living. But no, we have a lot of articles on apologetics, and we still get a lot of questions. A recent trend, which to me it's sad, is how poorly informed a lot of the questions are. It's like people who would come and who've been taught their whole lives that there's not a single reasonable argument for the existence of God. Like, I've never heard anyone make a reasonably good case for God's existence, or I've never heard that Jesus is God. Those type of things, like chords of the Christian faith that people are utterly unfamiliar with. That seems to be getting worse. Probably as our society gets more and more secular, people have less exposure to the core doctrines and the core issues of apologetics. There's more of what I mentioned earlier was more like the ignorance, I guess, of Christian faith, but then also the hostility towards it. And it's even in the last few years, I've noticed more and more of the Richard Dawkins type, who they're not just atheists, but they actively hate the Christian faith and what it stands for.
Yeah, anti-theists, yeah.
And they're trying to decide, actually like deleting a question, because it's like, this person is clearly so angry or so hard-headed, there's no way they'd even be willing to listen to anything we have to say. So not casting your pearls before swine. We very rarely do that, but it's becoming more common. And it's a sad state of affairs to we'll see how the Christian faith can be so misrepresented or misunderstood to drive people to be so openly and aggressively hostile to it.
Yeah, I think too that kind of speaks to, we all have what I like to term kind of bumper sticker theology, and that goes for the other side as well. It's these kind of arguments aren't facts, or arguments aren't evidence, and that's just touted, and it's like, oh well, this person said it, so I'm going to say it, and we're going to say it together as a group, and we're going to keep saying it until we
finally believe.
We keep getting sick of it, and I think that happens on the Christian side as well. And so it's just I think sad is the correct form, because you have the people that think that they're informed by listening to a famous person, and they just regurgitate, and they don't ever take it in, and they don't ever examine it or want to examine it either, because they have their set views, and obviously we do too. But hopefully we're open to examining it.